Hold on to your phones, folks, because what you're about to watch is not your everyday political fluff. Today at Global Pulse News, we're diving into the moment when President Peter Mutharika stepped up to the podium at the swearing-in of Enock Chihana as Malawi's second vice president and threw down a speech that blends legacy, power moves, and regional politics like a thriller with popcorn. Dinyengo yakuti muone kwambiri. This affair is heavy. Mutharika, the comeback king. Chihana, the legacy bearer. The constitutional clause being dusted off, the ceremony full of symbolism. Zilivzonse. So buckle up, we've got 10 eye-opening facts about this moment, each one unpacked with value and a dash of sass. Sit back, or better yet, lean in, because the drama, the meaning, and the what it means for you are all coming. Tieni tiambe. The comeback narrative of Mutharika. President Peter Mutharika's return to power sets the scene for today's spectacle. After winning the election with over 50% of the vote and being sworn in on 4 October 2025, the 85-year-old statesman is back in the driver's seat, reminding Malawians that he still has the keys. In his speech at the ceremony, he made no bones about the state of the country. Economic storms brewing, fuel shortages, maize and fertilizer in limbo, and no milk and honey promises, but hard work ahead. That moment isn't just ceremonial, it's signaling of his agenda, stability, legacy, and a recalibration of governance. Mutharika's tone wrote the backstory before Chihana ever took the stage. Transition? But the ceremony itself? That's where the cameras truly clicked. Let's move in. The ceremony and symbolism at Senjika Palace. At the majestic Senjika Palace in Blantyre, the swearing-in of Enock Chihana as second vice president unfolded with full gravitas. Administered by Deputy Chief Justice Lovemore Chikopa, the event drew senior government officials, judiciary members, and political heavyweights all dressed up for a scene that looked like a diplomatic gala. Two other ministers, Rosa Fach-Mbirzi, Agriculture, Irrigation, and Water Development, and George Patrick Mipa, Industrialization, Business, Trade, and Tourism, also took their oaths at the same time. The setup? A revived office, a legacy family stepping up, and a government signaling new chapter. But here's where the story gets deeper. Why Chihana and why now? Let's dig. Enock Chihana isn't just any political appointee. He is the son of the late pro-democracy icon Enock Chihana, the guy widely credited with helping end one-party rule in Malawi. His appointment as second vice president brings that legacy full circle. The child of the man who once held this same post under President Bakili Muluzi now steps into the mantle himself. The constitutional basis is Section 85 of the Malawi Constitution, which allows the president to appoint a second vice president when in the national interest. So this move has layers: regional balance, North Malawi represented, party alliance, Chihana's party AFORD linked with Mutharika's DPP, heritage, political signaling. Transition? So we've got the who and why, but what does the role actually mean? Hang on. The revived office of second vice president and its implications. The office of second vice president was first created in 1994 as a mechanism for inclusive governance and regional representation. After Enock Chihana's tenure, 1994 to 1996, and 2003 to 2004, the position lay largely dormant for many years until now. Enock's appointment, therefore, isn't just filling a vacancy, it's reactivating a constitutional instrument. Analysts argued the office remains lightly defined. Responsibilities largely depend on what the president delegates. The result? Big title, big expectations, but also big questions about substance versus symbolism. Transition? And since symbolism is one thing, let's now zoom in on the political chess being played behind the scenes. Political alliances and regional dynamics. Enock Chihana is president of the Alliance for Democracy, a party with deep roots in northern Malawi. Before the 16 September general election, AFORD struck an electoral pact with the ruling party, the Democratic Progressive Party. By bringing Chihana into the executive, Mutharika is signaling inclusion, regional balance, North versus South Malawi, and coalition reward. The move helps glue fragile alliances. The North gets representation, the coalition gets wider legitimacy, and Mutharika strengthens his support base. But while politics is the game, actual delivery is what people care about. So what's the tangible agenda here?
In his remarks at the ceremony, Mutharika flagged serious issues: the economy under strain, fuel and maize shortages, high borrowing, and foreign exchange deficits. He emphasized that the honeymoon of looting government is over and prioritized hard work. He called for investment and asked the international community to pay attention. In this context, Chihana's role may involve pushing the agenda on youth, development in the North, and bridging policy implementation gaps. It's less about the flash and more about the grind. So, we've seen speech and signifying, but how are analysts reading this through the lens of legacy? Let's talk legacy. The Chihana legacy and historical resonance. When Enock Chihana swore in as second vice president, the symbolism was rich. His father, Chakufua Chihana, had once held the same office, end of one-era democratic hero, and now the son steps into the corridor of formal power. The story here reads like generational closure and revival, from trade union leader to national executive, from opposition figure to power player. It resonates with Malawians familiar with the struggle for multi-party democracy. By tapping that legacy, the government isn't just filling a position, it's evoking hope, continuity, and shared history. Transition, but legacy without clear mandate, that's shaky ground. So let's see what people are saying. The critiques, the skepticism, and the pressure. Not everyone is cheering. Some analysts caution that the second vice president role may end up being largely decorative and less properly defined and empowered. Critics say the post risks overlaps with the first vice president's duties or may become a political token rather than an executive powerhouse. For Chihana, the pressure is real. Convert symbolism into results, navigate coalition politics, satisfy regional expectations, and avoid the fate of previous political appointments that fizzled out. Okay, so we've covered who, what, how, and why. But what about you and me? What does this appointment mean at street level? Implications for ordinary Malawians. On the ground, the significance of Chihana's appointment ripples into expectations for service delivery, regional investment, especially in the North, and representation. Mutharika's speech underscored staples: maize supply, fertilizer, fuel, loans, and economic reform. With a northerner in high office, citizens in that region are watching for attention to neglected infrastructure, job creation, youth services. Meanwhile, across Malawi, the move could signal that the government is serious about inclusion and shared governance, if the rhetoric translates into action. And finally, let's reflect on the big picture, where this fits in Malawi's evolving political landscape. The broader significance in Malawi's political evolution. The swearing in of Enock Chihana and Mutharika's speech mark more than day-to-day politics. They mark evolutionary change in Malawi's democracy. The revival of the second vice president post, the alliance dynamics, the generational handover, and the policy rhetoric combine to suggest a new chapter. One where representation, legacy, and governance merge. Whether this chapter will deliver remains to be seen, but the opening lines are bold. The country, long navigating regional divides and political fragmentation, now has a visible symbol of unity and continuity. So, there you have it. 10 facts, one big moment, lots to watch. If you found this breakdown enlightening and you've ever wondered what really happens behind the political headlines in Malawi, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash the like icon, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next big story on Global Pulse News. Got a thought on Chihana's future or whether this appointment will deliver? Drop your comment below. We'll highlight the best ones in our next video. And if you haven't yet, check out our sister channels at Sparkling Kids and at Rayma Fatima for kids entertainment, learning, and family-friendly content. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one.